I love me some Steely Dan as well.
All right.
All right, on camera right now on our podcast, we got Joe Baylor, who is a candidate for Cumberland County Sheriff. Joe, move that mic over towards you just a little bit. How are you today, sir?
Pretty good, sir. How about you?
I'm outstanding. You have an extensive background that you want to share with us. Let's just get right into it. You're running for sheriff here in Cumberland County. Why?
Sure. Well, I have a quality of life that I'm used to. Growing up, my dad retired here back in the early 80s. I went to school here. I started over at Mayor MacArthur, ended up at Hope Mills over at Southview, and then I was accepted into Oak Hill Academy for a college prep school my last 2 years of high school. So graduated from there. And then after that, went into the military, experienced the quality of life that I had as a child on the military installations by giving that quality of life to the soldiers throughout the world. I haven't experienced that here, being out in the civilian population, and I want to bring that to the Cumberland County residents.
So you have extensive background in law enforcement. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, sir. So I was a military policeman. I've been able to make a little bit of history. I ran a 25-man SRT down in Panama, so I got to do a lot of cool things down there with some of our special forces persons and some of the three-letter people, DEA, CIA, FBI guys. We had to do a lot of training down there together. When I moved out to Fort Benning, I became a bomb dog handler, and I was able to be attached to the Secret Service for some missions with President Clinton and President Bush.
The involvement that you've had in this community right now, any connection to law enforcement at all here locally?
Yes, sir. I'm the Director of Public Safety over at Fayetteville Tech. So I have the Fayetteville PD work for me off duty as well as the Spring Lake PD. So I have to keep 35,000 students safe every day. That's the population throughout the year for us.
What's the challenges as a Cumberland County Sheriff in comparison to what you do now?
Challenges I face right now is as far as the campus.
Yeah, well, if you make a comparison to what you do now with the campus and then what you would do as sheriff, similarities, differences?
Sure. So the big thing there is I build a lot of trust within the staff and faculty and the students there. I get out every day, walk around campus, engage everyone. If someone has some type of issue where they were dealing with us in a negative way, and I say negative, if had a medical incident or something like that, I do follow-ups. I go back around and check on them, a couple of days after, make sure that they're okay, make sure they're getting the resources that they needed.
Some of the issues that law enforcement face today, it's not the most popular job to have in comparison when we were growing up. Everybody wanted to be a police officer or wanted to be a fireman or something like that, but things have changed in terms of the popularity of being a law enforcement officer, and therefore that has an impact on recruitment and retention. Talk about that a little bit as you see it.
Yeah, so it's the entire industry, even to the colleges. I have sworn and non-sworn there. It's hard to bring some of the Fayetteville PD on because it's off duty for them, so it's extra after they've already been law enforcement, throughout the day. They come work for me for a couple of hours. And the same side with the non-sworn, the industry is really hurting. No one wants to enforce anymore. No one wants to be responsible for things, and I think we need to bring that back.
Well, I tell you, I've been all over the world covering our soldiers.
Yes, sir.
And I'm a Ranger qualified officer, but I've gone as a civilian. Didn't go anywhere as an officer. But one thing I can say, that everywhere I've gone, wherever there is not law enforcement, you have gangs or whoever has the warlords, whoever have the most guns, run the community, and they run your life. And I don't think people really appreciate law enforcement until you have to call 911. Your experience about that in terms of turning around the perception of law enforcement in our country, and it has to start with law enforcement. Sure. I don't think with the public.
Yeah, sure. Similarly, I've traveled around the world. When I travel around, it kind of frustrates my wife when we're on vacation because I watch to see what law enforcement does throughout the world. We went to Ireland back in 2024, and I watched 2 young officers unarmed because 80% of their officers there are unarmed. 20% are armed in the entire island of Ireland, which I found strange, but then I understood that they were educated. they have to have 2 to 4 years before they're allowed to even go through law enforcement training of college. So when I saw them dealing with this mental health crisis, it was different than what I think I would have seen here. There was talking, there was engagement, they were listening, and both sides left happy, even though the person was taken away. You could see that they were relieved. You just don't see that here. So I'm going to push education hard. I want a smart police, if that makes sense. They need to know the why. Because if you know the why, you can look past the incident and understand what's going on.
Well, having smart police means that you have to offer a salary that will make them say, I'm not going to work. If I can make more money working at McDonald's, why would I be an officer? So McDonald's may be an extreme.
Correct. And
but you see the point.
Yes, sir. And money's going to be brought to the table. Money doesn't fix everything, but it is a great incentive, right? But also you need retention after that. And I feel that I can build a quality salary-based retention there to keep them there, to make this a place. It used to be a place where you could come here and there was a line to get into the sheriff's department. You had to be on a waiting list. I want to bring that back. I want to be, bring in the elite of the elite around the United States and make this the place, the destination.
The department is an accredited department. Moose Butler years ago, I remember Moose taking the steps to make that happen, and it's right did the same thing to reassure it. That's an important part of law enforcement.
Yes, sir, it is. Accreditation is. The other important part is the trust of the community, because if you don't have that trust, you're not going to have the legitimacy that you are trying to receive.
And when you're running for office, there's an awful lot that's on the plate in terms of doing things like this. Come on a radio station and make your points, going out to talk with people. You've done some of that.
Yes, sir.
What are residents saying to you?
A lot of people are very happy that I'm running. They know me. They know what I expect. They know my standard. They know that I can bring change. I hate to use that word change because it's kind of, it's a word that's used by a lot. But they've seen what I've done out at the campus. They've seen the see something, say something. It works. When I engage the students and they're bringing problems or issues to me from outside so that I can get them the resources that they need, they know that I can make a change in their life. And I think that the change is going to be good.
The one thing I remember from my military is the fact that esprit de corps, the morale of the men and women with whom you work, essentially is the backbone of how good you are at what you do.
Yes.
Talk about that and how you would motivate folks to do a great job.
I'm going to bring in the cohesion. I'm not going to go in there to fire everybody and start all over again. I don't believe in that. But I am going to bring in people from around the world that I know where things are working right and consult and look at what we can do to make the changes to make it better for the community and better for the officers or for the sheriff's, for the deputies. The big thing is with the jail. I need to bring them into a more respectable place within the community. And I say that no one wants to work the jail because it's the worst of the worst being housed in there. But there needs to be incentives by money, just incentives for rank, incentives to, just to build the place to make it a better place for them to work and a safer place for them.
Well, yeah, and I guess that I know exactly what you're talking about in terms of making these environments safe. It's very hard to get anyone to, as you say, to be in law enforcement to enforce the rules. And it starts at home. I mean, even as a parent, making sure your kid is doing what he or she is supposed to be doing. That's a tough challenge just because things have changed. One of the main things that have changed is all these phones and the technology that we have. And it can be a bad thing, but in law enforcement, the technology can be good. How do you see it?
It can be good. And back in under the Obama administration, I was invited to the White House from my position at the college. I was invited there for the 21st Century Policing Symposium. And that's talked about in there. There's a wheel there already. I don't have to recreate a wheel. They have the 6 pillars. The 6 pillars work, not just for police departments, but for sheriff's departments, anything in law enforcement. I sat in the room full of attorney generals, police chiefs, and sheriffs from around the United States. And we learned and educated ourselves in there, and we have a template to bring back. If you use it properly, it works.
One of the challenges you have is the fact that everybody does have a phone and everything is recorded. And, you try to make strides in the community in terms of your law enforcement presence, professionalism, and all that. And then there's one video of some bonehead person interacting with the public, really flexing as opposed to de-escalating a situation. And then it just wipes away the headway that you make. Talk about that a little bit and your concerns there.
Sure. The current concerns there is, everyone perceives the video in a different way. I'm an expert for K-9. So when there's Fourth Amendment violations, I'm called out throughout the country to come out there, and I have to look at video, and I see it one way, but a civilian that doesn't know what's happening sees it another way. When you talk about rules of engagements or going in to deal with something, the police are trained a certain way to do things, and maybe the civilians don't understand what that is, that they have to de-escalate in a certain way. So I'll take it for what it is in that video, and whatever needs to happen, it will happen.
If you're just joining me right now, we've got Joe Baylor. He is a candidate for Cumberland County Sheriff. Will be in the primary that's coming up on March 3rd, and early voting is getting ready to start in February. You know the exact date? It was February. Yeah, I should know it off the top
February
of my head.
12th, I believe.
February. I'm going to have to etch that one in my head, because I should be able to say that and let folks know when things are happening. So we're getting, it's a short period of time here. You don't have much time to run and get your word out, and you don't have much time here either. You got about a minute here.
Okay.
Make your case for why people should vote for you.
All right. Well, I'm homegrown from, my dad retired here. I'm part of the community. I've been part of the community my entire life. I'm ready for this challenge. I've been training myself to get to where I am today. I feel that if you vote for me as sheriff, you'll see a true change and appreciate the changes that you get. So please vote for me.
I have to turn my mic back on, so it's pretty simple. Joe, I appreciate you coming out and spend some time with us as we get a little bit closer, depending on how much time we have. And as we get through the primary, if you're able to get through, of course, we're going to have you on because the election actually takes place in November for the sheriff.
Yes,
but
sir.
you got to get through the primary.
That's true.
And we'll see how that works out for you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And I hope things go well for you. And we appreciate the work that you're doing at Fayetteville Tech.
Yes, sir.
That's a fantastic facility. And it is a gem in our community. I'm sure you would say the same thing.
Yes, sir. It's the safest school in the county.
All right. Well, you're listening to News Talk 640 for WFNC. Right now, we've got Fayetteville's most dependable forecast with Rachel Dunsing from CBS 17.
Today will be mostly cloudy with a few showers and a high of 49. Overnight will be mostly cloudy with a low of 27. Saturday will be mostly cloudy with a high of 35, with sleet arriving by the afternoon and freezing rain arrives overnight. That freezing rain will continue through Sunday, with ice possibly accumulating up to around a half inch and a high of 34. The winter storm will bring significant impacts. Finalize your preparations now and be where you intend to be throughout the duration of the storm by Saturday afternoon. That's your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Yeah, I had Joe Baylor's name under Rachel Dunsing for some time. That was Rachel Dunsing. I'm Gilbert Bays. 48 degrees right now across the board. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC.
This report is sponsored by Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation.
Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation is known for compassionate care for all across its 20 North Carolina locations. Whether your loved one needs short-term rehabilitation or long-term care, our exceptional staff and comprehensive services are here to support their recovery or ongoing needs.
Cumberland County's hometown news and information source. News Talk 640 WFNC. Say play WFNC wherever you get your audio.
The Arts Council of Fayetteville, Cumberland County invites you to the grand opening of Arts XL, a brand new arts accelerator space built for makers, performers, and dreamers. Explore flexible rehearsal areas, collaborative studios, and dynamic creative space, all under one roof. Celebrate the opening of Arts XL with the Arts Council of Fayetteville, Cumberland